Hello, how are you doing? How is the Easter? Good, 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 good. Yeah, I'm okay too. I'm okay. Yeah, Easter was fine. Easter was fine. Easter is fine actually. Did you keep something for me? Did you leave some of the stuff you enjoyed for me? Ah, I know you now. You will keep something for me. I will come. Don't worry, I will come. I will come. You don't have to come. I'll come and collect it, okay? Yeah, you know we are friends, so I will come, okay? Yeah, yeah, yeah. So, what are you doing now? Do you have a moment to spare that we can share something together? There is this thing that I want us to like think about together. Okay, something we'll think about. Yeah, 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 yeah. It's something that also bothers you. I know. Let's start this way. Do you recognize this? These three? Do you recognize it? Yeah, yeah, you're right. Mangoes, mangoes, mangoes. These are mangoes. This is the season for mangoes. They're everywhere. Mangoes are everywhere. I love them. They are sweet, sweet. I enjoy eating mangoes. I know you do too. Yeah. So, mangoes are out. They're everywhere. It is a big problem. A big problem. Do you notice that everywhere on the streets, in the villages, in the townships, is mango? And much of it is being, should I say, wasted or lost? You know, there's this thing about food loss and food waste. I think food loss is like when food is produced but can't get to the intended recipient, to the intended consumer. Okay? Like mango is harvested, but somewhere along the chain, it either gets spoiled, gets damaged, or whatever, and so it's no longer fit for human consumption. Yeah, you can feed it to animals, but and then eventually, of course, you eat the animals or drink their milk or whatever. But the primary intention was to feed it to humans, and since it cannot get to humans for them to consume, then technically, I think they say that is lost. So we could say much of the mango is being lost. But again, there is also the issue of waste too. Wastage. Like, well, wastage, food wastage is, my understanding of it is that the food is produced, it actually gets to the intended consumer, but for one reason or the other, the consumer doesn't consume it, doesn't eat it, doesn't drink it, and so it either overstays on the shelf and loses its value, or gets spoiled in the hands of the consumer. And so, sometimes someone has so much food and overestimate how much he or she can eat. And so he eats what he can, but doesn't want to give out the remaining one. You understand? Maybe he's holding or he's stingy. Some people are just stingy by nature. So they will not want to give you, even if you are dying, they will not give you their food. Well, that's story for another day. So that food gets wasted. That's what we call waste. You eat much you can, but you can't give out the rest. That's why the Food and Agriculture Organization says that much of the problem of developing countries is food losses, because we produce, but somewhere on the chain of distribution, the food is not able to get to the intended consumer. While for developed countries, they produce, they actually, it gets to the consumer, but the consumer either has too much to eat or because of being too picky, being picky. This one, the color has changed. This one has little spots. This one doesn't smell right. So this is food that would have been conveniently eaten by another person without complaining. A hungry person, a hungry person doesn't care. I remember those days. If you finish drinking that water before you start noticing that there's soap smelling inside. We have these two problems facing us with mangoes. mango losses, mango waste. You go to the farms, you harvest them. Let's say you harvest in a hill, for instance. Yeah, don't worry. Hill is in Manica local government now in Benue State. So you harvest mangoes from Hill, and because they have so much, you want to take it to Makodi or to Abuja or to Kano or to Lagos, Enugu, Ibadan. And then somewhere along the line, one, starting from the harvesting, some of these are falling, the way or the method of harvesting is not proper. And so once it hits the ground, causes mechanical damage. And so many of them that are impacted like that are already damaged and spoiled. So we have lost those ones, right? Then in the course of moving them, transporting them, they are heaped either inside sacks that are tightly tied, no ventilation. And so because, mango as living organism respires, so it gives out ethylene, which causes rapid ripening, and then, eventually most of the mango is spoiled even before it gets to its destination, especially when you are transporting it for long distances. Or they come to the way they are heaping it inside the trucks. The trucks are like, because of our bad roads, buku, 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 buku. And so there is puncture, there is cracking, there's all manner of things. So before you get to the point where those who need the mango will eat it, almost close to half of the mango is, damaged, spoiled, right? Like, so, just look at this. This is the situation we are facing. I'm sure this is a familiar sight. These are familiar sights. You see this every day. You see mangoes loaded in trucks, being transported. You go to market, Kano market, Wuruku market, Asukuro market, is it Asukuro? What's the name? Apple market, or whichever market you call it. Badagry, you go to, no, even your local markets, you see heaps and heaps of this. Sometimes on the roads, you're traveling, and then somewhere by the road, you just see heaps of rotten mango, because either the vehicle broke down, stayed on the road for several days, and then the mangoes were no longer viable, and so what they say, they have to empty the truck in order to tow it, all things. So you see this kind of thing. I mean, does it not bother you? Does it not really bother you? It bothers me. It bothers me. In fact, I stumbled across some statistics that we also, you find shocking. There's this research that shows that 42% of the total mangoes produced is either lost or wasted. 42 whooping percent. At the production level, at the point of harvest, 11% is wasted. 11% is lost of the mangoes because of hitting, right? In the distribution chain, another 10% is lost. Poor transportation, poor handling, poor packaging, poor storage, and so on. 10% is lost. They are the processing level. The level at which maybe the mango is turned into juice, is turned into pulp, is turned into chips, is turned into, there's something called mango chips. You've not tasted them. Yeah, the mango is sliced and then dried, and then you begin to eat it like, chips. Wasted. 8%. And another 8% again lost at the retail level. Go to the markets. These women or the traders, they can't sell that day, the following day. And because they can't sell, they don't have a proper place to store the mangoes. Because mangoes, like I said earlier, being living organisms, will like be the ripening process will continue except you slow it down either by refrigeration or by one form of cooling or the other, or in one way or the other modifying the atmosphere within which the mango is kept so as to slow down the production of ethylene and then slow down the ripening process. So at that level to another 8%. And then even at the consumption level, where the people are really having access to it and eating it, you will still see wastage. You slice one piece, brew, it falls down. And they say this one pick sansan, we chop again. Or one thing or the other makes the what do you call it? You keep it, you bought like 1,000 naira worth of mangoes because you saw it, you were excited, and then you came home, you kept it, you forgot it, or you just ate one fruit and you're okay. The next day, before you know it, the remaining fruits are damaged. So when you put together all these losses, it accounts for about 42%. But to me, I think it's a conservative figure. I think close to 50% of the total mango produce is lost, especially in places like this. It's just these days that they even harvest the thing raw when it's not yet ripened, and then they try to ripen it by force, because of high demand. So when we are faced with a situation like this, what do we do, my friend? What do we do to curb these losses? What do we do to minimize the losses of mangoes? Okay? Proper handling, packaging, storage, better transportation methods, and so on. As a matter of fact, I also came across another piece of information that packaging, good packaging, enhanced packaging, can greatly improve the value of food. If food is packaged appropriately, it will reduce food losses and waste at any stage of the supply chain. It ensures that the food is secure. It ensures that the food is safe. It ensures that it's economically distributed. So like if we take the case of mango we're talking about, if, for example, we are able to package our mangoes appropriately, there will be ease of handling, right? You can handle it better, securely. It will be safe, free from contaminants, either microbial or chemical or whatever. We will reduce mechanical damages on the mangoes, right? The mangoes will be protected. And then logistics management, that is like, transporting it will not be such a huge problem, okay? And above all, we can extend the shelf life of mango. I mentioned that if, for most food, including fruits, when they are refrigerated or like when they are stored within modified atmospheres, they last longer. So why can't we package our mangoes? Why can't we start packaging our mangoes? Why can't we start packaging our mangoes? Let's find a better mango packaging solution. Can you think of something? Can you think of a way that we can package our mangoes in such a way that they can be easily handled, easily transported, that the shelf life will be extended, that will be protected from contaminants and microbial infections, such that the amount of losses is reduced, the amount of wastage is reduced, and our economy will improve. The economy of the rural people, the economy of the state, the economy of the nation will improve. When you think of something that will work. I came across one video like that. Let me share the video with you. Maybe you can get some ideas from watching this video.
Mangoes are one of the fastest growing fruits when you measure by the volume. Here in the US, there are over 1 billion pounds of mangoes that are handled from farm to retail. And so, in order for that industry to continue to grow, one of the challenges that we're having was the packaging. Currently, the mango industry uses a small box, which fits about 9 pounds of mangoes in them. And so, it was important to have a stronger box, a bigger box.
The National Mango Board approached Cal Poly Packaging Program to see if they can develop a standardized mango packaging tray.
So the Mango Board created a task force, and we involved growers, handlers, shippers, retailers, and box manufacturers. And they all came together to discuss what the issue was and what was possible in creating a new box. This project really was a collaboration with the entire supply chain.
There were 3 things critical for this project. There were pallet load stability, forced air cooling, ventilation, and efficiency.
The layers in each pallet can range from 17 to 21 layers, so it's a very tall pallet, and it's important to have a stable structure.
What we wanted to ensure that this package system will survive the mechanical and the natural abuse it may face in a distribution system. Part of our job is to ensure that all that effort that goes into growing mangoes is not wasted.
With corrugated carton, it offers strength. At the same time, it's soft enough so it doesn't damage the perishable fruit inside the packaging.
Paper was always our choice to work with. The advantage here is flexibility of implementation. Regardless of which country it's coming from, is relatively easy to get, find suppliers.
One of the benefits with paper packaging is that the branding on the box itself is easy to incorporate. You can have colorful imagery, and it inspires consumers to select the fruit.
A common term that is used not only in the packaging industry but in every industry is sustainability, and the packaging industry plays a major role in the sustainability aspect of it.
Food safety is another important factor that needs to be considered with any new packaging. And we know that with paper packaging, it goes through a process that is heat treated, so it reduces or eliminates microbial contamination. The corrugated paper box really solves this problem. We have been running tests from the production areas through to consumers, and those tests have been successful. It's a much better box than what we had before. We are excited about this new box because it will benefit growers, consumers, and everybody in the mango industry.
So, what do you think? It doesn't really have to be that keto. Some other ideas: crates, wooden crates, plastic crates. See how transporting mangoes in cartons can be so easy. Straw packed baskets, right? Good innovative ways of packaging and transporting mangoes. Packaging it. So in summary, my friend, I've learned that packaging can significantly reduce food losses, especially mangoes. Appropriate packaging. And it will also provide a significant economic benefit to our people. So why don't you, think about it, cash in on it, and spread the word? It's good opportunity in this, and I'm sure you can do it. We can do it. It's because you're my friend. That's why I'm telling you this. I love you. Yeah.